Okay.
All right. Good evening. My name is Samuel Watson. I'm talking with Terry Watson, who is the owner of Heartland Therapeutic Services. And I just have a few questions for you if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So, first question is, how would you describe your overall management style and how would you adapt it depending on the employee or situation?
Overall management style, I would say, generally resides on trying to hire good people initially and then free them to be themselves with oversight and structure when needed. But and that of course involves a lot of trust and training. But that's how I would characterize it.
Wonderful. Okay, what motivates your employees most, and what strategies do you use to maintain or improve motivation?
Well, I found motivation to be an individual exercise, intrinsic, extrinsic motivators. Folks have different degrees of motivation. I think part of the art and science of management is to discern what motivates a person and create an environment where that's conducive. So, and then there are general, of course, motivations within the organization as long as there's a sense of good or virtue coming um, out of the what the organization's trying to do, then meaning goes a long way toward motivation in most folks, I think. So
What do you think motivates people the most? Just if you had to boil it down.
it's just so diverse. Some, there folks are at different developmental levels. Sometimes it's providing for the family. Money is the primary motivator. But if you can link that with a deeper sense of meaning, many times I think you have increased satisfaction and a sense of meaning within the work that you're doing, if that makes any sense. Um, so I think that can be globally applied. Intrinsic, extrinsic. I think if there's a sense that what we're doing means something and the world's a better place because of it. Yeah.
So in that same kind of a vein, building trust and maintaining effective communication, how would you recommend going about doing that with your employees?
Well, I think there are things that you can do to set the culture, the tempo, if you will, by being open and honest. For example, if you make an error, openly admit that, make it safe for folks to strive and fail, so long as folks are above board and it doesn't turn into a toxic work environment. You want to make it safe for people to be the best they can be, of course, within bounds and within a good structure. But I think a lot of that occurs when you create the right environment, and build trust and talk about it and emphasize it, the importance of telling the truth. If you have a conflict with somebody, which is inevitable in any human interaction, don't shy away from it. Handle it professionally. Handle it well. And then if you need other help to overcome that, that's fine. Don't view things personally, for example, or strive not to. Good boundaries in general, like that, can really go a long way toward fostering diverse developmental levels and personalities in a work environment. Yeah.
Great, thank you. How would you measure team or individual performance, and how would you provide feedback?
Team or individual?
Sure.
Uh,
So how would you
well,
measure performance and
well, of
supply
course
feedback?
that would be context driven. But um, I I like competition. And I also like competition with the self. So, challenge folks to say, well, I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today, and keep that idea going. But then also having competitions within an organization, I don't think hurts as long as there's not egos can get bruised, etc. But if folks have good spirit about it, why I think competition can help.
Great. So, what practices do you use to develop your employees' skills and careers?
Oh, well, if funding is available, create incentive for ongoing development, encouragement within the organization, if that's the person's desire. Of course, you want to ask a person what they want. Some folks really do not want to take on an increased role because of responsibility, etc. So you want to help them grow and develop in other ways, but within the organization itself, if I'm understanding your question correctly,
Hmm.
then it would be to create incentives that will help you academically if you commit to, say, 2 years of being with us, but we want to encourage your growth and development. And that gets back kind of what we were talking about earlier as far as meaning is concerned. If you're about that and the folks know that that's what you're about, why I think that can help motivation as well.
Great. Okay, next question. How do you make decisions when faced with uncertainty or incomplete information?
Well, that's pretty much all the time.
How do you do it?
Well, I think that you have a hierarchy or structure, of course, of what the goal is, and then you're assessing probabilities, the truth as best you can see it, which of course includes personalities, motivation, things that you've been bringing up. How likely is this to succeed? And then you bring in other minds, I think, that you trust and may have a different perspective than you, um, and they're going to bring their thoughts, and you'll weigh it all out and then strive to make the best decision that you can. I do firmly believe in a principle that a good decision comes from good debate, and that gets back to that trust talk that we were having earlier on too. I think that if you create that kind of an environment um, that you're going to hopefully arrive at the best decisions. Doesn't mean they're going to be right, even with the best laid plans. Many times don't work out, but giving it the best go you can, I think, like is like that.
Great. All right, I think we've got time for one more. It's a pretty fun one. Can you describe a time when you implemented change in your team or organization, and how did you manage the employee reactions?
Yes. I was general manager of a restaurant. We had about 80 employees, and it came to light that there was a substantial substance abuse issue going on in the organization and even dealing going out the back door. So we instituted a drug uh, rehab policy to help anybody who wanted help with it, because it was a substantial concern. It wasn't, they were pretty heavy drugs that were being used. So we approach the matters. We want to help you, but if this is something that you're going to engage in, then we don't want you working here, because you're at risk, and our patrons are at risk, etc. So we did institute that policy, and it was a major change. We did lose some employees, um, but on the whole, we had, I think, 5 or 6 employees seek rehab, and I think to this day, well, last I knew, long ago, they were doing well. So we tried to approach it from the standpoint of, we care about you, we want you to have a good life, and that what they were doing was really substantial stuff. So wasn't good, and that was kind of rife in that setting. So that's how we handled it and what we did. It was difficult, and it was also good in many respects. So
Well, outstanding. Well, Dr. Terry, I can't thank you enough for this. This was outstanding. And so, do you have any last parting bits of wisdom for us?
oh no, thank you for the interaction, and all the best to you. Much
All
love.
right. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.